Hello family, I hope you're doing great. This video is a story time video. It's something that happened a while ago, almost 20 years ago, and it's actually something that I've been wanting to share with you for a while, but I never felt ready for it because I didn't find the reason behind me sharing it. But like a month ago, I just started to feel a lot of peace and confirmation to share this with you, and here I am. And this is thanks to you, because throughout the years, you've been so supportive of me and you've created a safe space for me to be able to express genuinely and honestly with you with no judgment. And I really want the comment section to be one of support and love for me and for everyone who is in the family. And I think that sexual abuse is something that is way more common than we think. And it's something that is not enough talked about. It's something that should be talked about more. It's something very serious, and it's something that can cause a lot of harm and damage to a person. It can cause traumas that people can carry on for years. Even if this maybe resonates with you and it happened to you a long time ago, and you think, oh, it happened so long ago, like, how can that affect me? If you haven't gone and healed, it can definitely affect you in more ways than you can think. And if this is something that you've recently gone through or are going through, then call out for help. Talk to someone, talk it out. Because sexual abuse is a violation, it's a discrimination against human beings, and it's harmful to our dignity and our integrity. And it's something that needs to be stopped. It's something that us women, we all need to stand together against this, and men together with women, because not just women are sexually abused, men are too. And that is like barely even talked about, even less. That should be talked about more, way more. We have to protect each other. So if you know of anyone who has been sexually abused or is being sexually abused, say something, save them. They need your help. Many times it's hard to defend ourselves, and it's easier to defend someone else. So it's something that we have to do. Protect each other. It's so important to talk about our emotions and our feelings. Sometimes we may think that it's not important, but it is very important. If we don't talk about the things that we're going through, it can cause bitterness, resentment, unforgiveness, and this in turn affects us internally. So in order to be healthy, happy human beings, because that is what we all want, right? And if you're here on this channel, it's because we both have the same goal, you and I. We want to be healthy and we want to be happy, and we want to have balance and be emotionally healthy and mentally healthy. So talking about this is very important. Okay, so now onto the story. This happened about 20 years ago. I'm 29 right now, and I was 10 years old at the time. I was at church, and I was in a room with a few people. I remember even like my mom was there, and we were in the room, and all of a sudden I got left alone with this man. I have no idea why we ended up us being together in the same room, and everyone was just kind of like moving around. There was a lot going on. So I was there with this man, and all of a sudden I just feel him coming from behind. I had pants on and a shirt, and he puts his hand up my shirt and down my pants and just like starts touching me all over. And at the time I just froze. I had no idea what to do. I froze because I almost felt bad, like getting away. You know, I thought that I would be like mean, or I would be acting like bad, or I wouldn't be like a nice person, because, you know, our parents teach us to be nice to people. So I thought, what if I say something like it's wrong? So I just like froze, and I didn't know what to do. But I knew that it was weird. It just felt off. And after that, we like went back to the event or whatever, and I just went on with my day. Like I didn't really think much about it. I went out and like started playing with my friends and stuff. And then it was like a few weeks later that it happened again. The second time it happened at a concert, a church concert. So we were there, and this man came from behind again. And this time it wasn't too much as the first time. He just like lifted my shirt again, but I walked away because I just felt a little weird, and I went with my parents. After it happened that time, I was like, okay, this is like, there's something wrong here. So a few weeks later, months later, I don't remember how long it was. One day I was at night in bed, I couldn't sleep for some reason, and I just kept thinking about this. It just like was running through my mind. And I got up and I went to my dad and I told him exactly what happened. And my dad at the time, like in front of me, he was like, honey, thank you for telling me. It's gonna be fine. You're gonna be good. Like, he gave me a sense of so much like safety and protection that he didn't show. He was furious. He was furious. He just like gave me peace, and I went back and I went to sleep. And I was like, okay, I told him and it's fine, right? Well, I don't know exactly to what detail happened, but I do know that my dad went to this man's house and he was really mad. He was furious, and he probably wanted to like kill the guy. I don't know, like, not just, yeah. So he called the police. That's what he did. He called the police, and the police came the next day and wanted to talk to me, and they were calling, and I just didn't want to talk to them. Apparently this man, it wasn't the first time that he did it. He had done it a few other times with other girls, and the police wanted to talk to me, and I really didn't want to talk. I just told my parents, like, you know what, I'm fine, it's good. I forgot about it. I didn't want to talk about it because it was hurtful at the time to like talk about it and relive it. I didn't want to. I just wanted to like put it in the past and leave it there. And so my parents, you know, they wanted to be understanding. They did their best, and they let me be. They did file a report for this man, but I didn't really end up like talking about it or going to therapy for it. I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to deal with it. And then after that, I developed my eating disorders. I developed anorexia when I was about 11 years old, so it was only like a few months after that. And then it was bulimia, and it was when I was 13, so 3 years later, that my parents found out about my eating disorders, and I got sent to therapy, and I was going to therapy for like a year. I was going to therapy like almost every single day. And one day during therapy, the psychologist said that there has to be there's a root cause to my eating disorders. Nothing would come up, and then all of a sudden one day it happened. Like it just came out, and I was like, I think it was the sexual abuse. It wasn't like an actual rape, but it was definitely an abuse. So the psychologist said, of course, it's that. There's no doubt. That is when I started to talk about it, and I began to heal it. And I don't think that if my parents ever found out about my eating disorders and I went to therapy, I don't know if I would have healed it then. I don't know how long I would have carried that on and how it would have affected me. I mean, it had already caused enough damage in me, in my self-esteem, and those things like mark you as a person, and you carry that on. And like even now, you know, I feel like we're always healing things from the past, and I'm healing so many things right now with my codependency and just relationships. It's a lot of things are coming up from the past, from like past relationships or just things that happened in my childhood. And it's crazy to think how something that happened years ago, you can still be carrying that, and like it's affecting your patterns, your thought patterns, the way that you're acting. So really just look at the importance in that, and don't diminish these things, because your inner well-being, your inner peace is the most important thing. Because if we are not okay inside, then there's no way we can be good out there in the world for others. I've been seeing my therapist for more than a year now, every single week, and I don't know when it's gonna end. I feel like I always want to have her, because I always feel like I'm working on something, and it's great because that's the reason that I feel I came here to heal and to become a better person every single day, to become a better version of myself. Yeah, I really wanted to talk about this, because even if it touches one person, or even if it helps someone, then my job is done. If anyone has gone through this or is going through this, and you feel comfortable talking about it and sharing your experience, it would be amazing, because this way others can know that they're not alone, and we can help each other and support each other and create a conversation about this. And if this is something that you have gone through or that you feel very deeply about, share this video, share it with someone, share it on your social media so that people can know that we are talking about this and that we are standing against this and that this needs to stop. I think especially for women, you know, we've been put down over the years so much that it's so easy for it to happen to women all over the world, and it's something that needs to stop. We cannot be going through this anymore. And for men who are going through this, it's not really talked about, and maybe it's even more shameful for men when this happens to them. That's not right. We need to do something about this. Again, as I said, if you know of anyone who has been abused or is abusing someone, it needs to stop. You need to say something. Speak up. That is it for this video, family. If you agree with me that this needs to stop and we need to speak about this, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe below. Turn on the notification bell. I upload videos every single week on health for body, mind, and spirit. I send you all a big hug. I love you, and thank you again for being here. Thank you for being a part of my life. Bye.